Now, moving on to other stories, some 200 Ghanaians have been recruited into various jihadist outfits in Burkina, Mali, and Niger. This is the outcome of a study by the Conrad Adena Stiftung Institution on the jihadist threat in northern Ghana and Togo, stocktaking and prospect for containing the expansion. According to the report, terrorist groups have already infiltrated Ghana, and a Ghanaian fighter from Karaga was utilized in a suicide mission against French forces in Mali in June last year. It further states that there is an active recruitment ongoing in mining areas across northern Ghana. We'll be getting in touch with producers of the report for more details on these findings. In the meantime, though, my colleague Ilyasu Tanko participated in the program held to launch the report and joins us live with more. Ilyasu, tell us about this program and its objective as a participant. All right, so we'll get him so he can tell us details. But for now, let's try to broaden the discussion and speak to a security analyst, Adib Sani, on this. Good morning to you. Thank you so much for agreeing to speak to us here on Newsdesk. Now, let's look at this particular research that has been conducted. What does this mean to us as a country?
Well, it is a disturbing report. As a matter of fact, I was very much in touch with one of the lead persons behind the report, and we've had, discussions in the past. It is not the first of this kind. In fact, earlier this year, there was a report that was presented to the UN Security Council that also pointed to a terrorist warehouse in Ghana, Togo, and in Benin. And so this tells us a lot about the level of threat we currently contending with. Indeed, the report also stated categorically that considering our proximity to northern Ivory Coast, northern Togo, and southern Burkina Faso, we've become more like a springboard, The terrorists are able to withdraw conveniently after staging attacks in these countries into Ghana, reorganize themselves, and attack again. And that is really worrying. And what I even find very damning in the report is the fact that they claim that Ivory Coast is much damaged, or rather Togo is more organized in the north in terms of security coordination than Ghana. Okay, so that should tell us that what I have suspected over the period, the fact that they are already in town and they are using us for other purposes, that is why they haven't attacked us, is quite genuine, okay? And the report also stated that there was between 200 and 300 individuals recruited. And after the training, they've been asked to get back into their communities. So the threat is really real, and it's quite obvious that our security would have to go beyond border security to homeland security, so we are able to identify them and degrade their ability to stage any attacks in Ghana.
How worried must we be at the revelation that the security setup of other countries, our neighboring countries, are more advanced than us as a country that is expecting this to probably hit us anytime soon?
It is really worrying, because if they are more advanced than us, yet they have suffered attacks. For example, in 2019, there were no attacks reported in Ivory Coast, Benin, and in Togo. But just last year, 2021, there were about 13 attacks in Ivory Coast, 5 attacks in Benin, and 1 attack in Togo. But this year, it is expected that the figures might even triple, considering the frequency and the lethality of the attacks we're witnessing in recent days. One just happened a few days ago in Togo. So that is really disturbing. And our security services will have to be up and doing, so we are able to prevent, further infiltration, and we are also particularly able to prevent these individuals from taking advantage of the 350 unresolved chieftaincy and land disputes we have in the country. Let's not forget that some of them take advantage of the insecurity in Ghana, particularly in Boku. Not too long ago, there was a police cable to the regional command that warned of some form of an infiltration into Boku, and after the fight, they were on their way back, and so we need to be looking out for these people. So it is really disturbing, it is scary, and it's a rude awakening to the stark realities that we have to contend with. So we are able to safeguard the peace and security of Ghana, knowing full well what we have to lose if any such attack of that nature happens in Ghana.
Kindly stay with me, Mr. Sani, because there are some few questions I would want you to address for me. But let me cross over to our correspondent, Eliasu Tanko, who has been part of this training. Eliasu, kindly give us a brief on the objective of this program as a participant.
Well, this is part of a series of reports that the pre-mediation group has been conducting. The first report came, and it has to do with the activities of these jihadists in Burkina Faso and Cote d'Ivoire as well. So this particular report is basically or mainly to examine the extent of the jihadist threat in northern Ghana and Togo as well. So just this report is to give an overview or to give an insight or highlight the extent of the jihadist threat in Ghana.
As a participant, what were the things that you took out of this training?
Well, this is really an extensive field work that was carried out 2 years. It took 2 years for them to compile this particular report. And the methodology is purely a field work, like I said, a series of survey and assessment of the security situation, especially in northern Ghana. And so we at the end of the report, it was a review that the suspected jihadists have already infiltrated the country, and the infiltration started somewhere in 2019. And we understand that a group of 5 fighters were sent to the borders in Burkina Faso, and they were sort of a vanguard to gather information, intelligence, and also to carry out recruitment. And so these particular 5 fighters have been able to recruit about 200, so to speak, 200 Ghanaian fighters who are currently within the jihadist outfit in Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger mainly. And we understand that most of them are currently undergoing training in the Goma area in Mali and also the further regions in Burkina Faso. And the objective is to return these Ghanaian fighters back home to continue the jihadist activities in the sub-region. And so we understand that, and basically we have 2 main jihadist groups that are currently operating in the sub-region, and that is the Islamic State in Greater Sahel, and also the Jamaat Nusrat al-Islam wal-Muslimin, which is simply called the JINEM. And this report have been able to reveal that about 80 elements are currently among the ranks of the Ansar Islam, which is the major jihadist group currently operating in Burkina Faso. And also about 40 elements are currently also among the jihadist outfits called the Katiba Sema, which is also active in Burkina Faso and Mali. In fact, this particular group is active in the 3 border regions, that is Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. And also the Ansar-Din group also has about 3 members, and also the most active jihadist group in the sub-region, which is the Katiba Masina. We understand there are 30 Ghanaian elements currently in this particular ranks. And we also know that the jihadists are also currently infiltrating the mining areas, especially in the Ghanaian Ivorian cross-border areas, precisely in the Upper West and then the Savannah region, more precisely in the Bole and the Chacha area, which is very closer with the Ivory Coast border. And we also know that in eastern Burkina Faso, closer to Boko and most parts of the Upper East region, an area called the Pama and Kompianga, which is in eastern Burkina Faso, they are also currently jihadists who are also operating in that particular area.
So since you live in that part of the country, especially those who are from the mining areas, what have the families been saying about this development?
Well, this is a covert operation currently ongoing. It is not something that is publicly known. And so most of the youth that are currently working or operating in this area, most of them get recruited and they don't know these people who are recruiting them. Okay. Currently, the strategy is that these people come in as miners, and then at a point they turn themselves into preachers. And so within the mining areas, they are able to preach their radical form of Islam to these particular young guys who are operating there, and this is how they get them recruited. And also in the Upper East region, the report mentioned the fact that because of the ongoing conflict in Boko, Doba, and Kandiga, and many parts of the Upper East region, the report highlights that the groups are exploiting this, and they are currently recruiting the youth group. And like you mentioned in your report there have also been a report out there that a Ghanaian have been utilized in a suicide mission in Mali. And so the youth get recruited, they don't know these people, and that is how serious this report should be taken, because some of them get involved and they only regret it later. They come to find out later that they are being recruited in jihadist group.
Eliasu, thank you.
At that time, it's too late for them.
Thank you, Eliasu. Now, let me return to Adib Sani. Adib, so what must be done at this hour to help, salvage the situation and to ensure that Ghana does not fall to this?
One of the lead persons behind this report. Like I indicated, we've had some previous discussions about what is going on. And I think one of the issues that came up is the need for us to address the grievances by the Fulanis in the country. I mean, I'm not stereotyping in any way, okay? But these are legitimate issues on the ground. For example, in Burkina, a lot of these terrorists are from the Fulani extraction, okay? And we know that since the first census that occurred in the 1890s in Ghana, we have Fulanis living here. Okay, now we have issues of Fulani herders and communities resulting in death. Not too long ago, there were a number of Fulanis who were killed at Zakoli, a town very close to Yendi. The situation was so bad that the Fulanis were planning to retaliate. And I brought the issue up, and at 1 a.m. I got a call from the IGP. That same morning, I met him. We spoke extensively about the issue. He called his commander. He asked him to go back to their community and assured them that something would be done. But I've also spoken with some leaders of the Fulani community in Ghana, and they contend that there's been several other attacks against Fulanis, and nobody is doing anything about it. And, when it continues, they will feel neglected, feel sidelined, and that is dangerous because the terrorists always take advantage of local grievances. And we also need to go beyond the militarization with which we've been fighting terrorism over the years.
Mr. Zani, I'm grateful to you for your time here.